So we have finished in chapter 6 up to shloka number 23. So, and we said that, very unique in Bhagavad Gita is the definition of yoga as such. Yoga, you can take it as any yoga, as a marga to moksha. And that yoga, what Bhagavan defined it as a dukkha sanyoga viyogam and yoga samgitam. Tam vidyat yoga sangitam. Yoga Sanghita means that is how it is very well known, and that Dukkha Sanyoga Yogam, that is Dukkham. This Dukkha Sanyoga means that which is already, see, we are all in a current state of some yoga. Take it that way. That yoga that we are progressing in our samsara sagaram is a Dukkha Sanyoga Yoga. Because that is some kind of a association in all our walks of life, which is with the objective world, this materialistic world, with the samsara sagaram, which is dukkha sanyoga. And viyogam means the removal from there. And that is what is the atma samyama yoga. So one is dukkha sanyogam, one is another is atma sanyogam. So that is why this chapter name is Atma Samyama Yoga Athava Dhyana Yoga. But Atma Samyama Yoga even sounds much better. Dhyana Yoga. And that Dhyana Yogam or that Atma Samyama Yogam, Bhagavan said as this is a Dukkha Sanyoga Viyogam, because the only thing required is removal of the attachments. By the removal of the attachment, the more and more we get detached, then the yoga is automatically progressing. That's what he's trying to say. And that dukkha sanyoga viyogam, he is defining into more in the upayam, in the verse number 24, 25 and 26 we will see today. And then after that, we have, as we see, can progress as much as possible. From 27 to 32 is all about that greatness, its mahima and its phala. So 24 to 26 is, and this dukkha sanyoga viyogam or this atma samyama yogam, what Bhagavan saying from the, going to explain from 24 to 26, 24, 25, 26 is probably in the more in the nididhyasana faculty of our yoga marga. As we all know, there is shravanam, mananam, nididhyasana. And this is more concentrating or on the nididhyasanam aspect of it. So Bhagavan says, okay, I'll chant once and then we can do it together. Sankalpa Prabhavan Kaman. This Kaman becomes then Im because of the Sandhi. Okay, so that's Kaman. Okay, Sankalpa Prabhavan Kaman Sattva Sandhi. Sankalpa Prabhavan Kaman Tyaktva Sarvana Seshataha Manasaivendriya Gramam Viniyamya Samantataha. Sankalpa Prabhavan Kaman Tyaktva Sarvana Seshataha Manasaivendriya Gramam Viniyamya Samantataha. So Bhagavan, as he is going to describe more on the Atma Samyama Yogam or the Nididhyasanam or the meditative yoga, as we all say, but it is more than meditation. It is the where that cognition of that tattvam that we have got, or the knowledge that we have gained, and putting it more into practice, into inner, taking it inside into us. So that Brahma Jnanam, Brahmaiva Bhavati, that Brahma Jnanam Atma, that itself is what you are, that particular highest form of that realization, as we generally call, that is what Bhagavan is saying here. So to know that, first he says, Sankalpa, Sankalpa Prabhavan Sarvan, Sankalpa Prabhavan. Okay. Sankalpa. So this word Sankalpa is something that we should understand very clearly in this particular context, so that we can proceed very clearly further. Sankalpam is just nothing but, in English we can also call it as called volition, Volition. Volition or Sankalpa, what it really means is, you are superimposing the idea of worthiness into an object, even though its final result is not, is otherwise. So again, I'm saying sankalpa is actually your superimposition idea of having a worth, because you will not waste a time unless you see some worth, or that worth is what is your object or your fruits or the goal you want to get. But what happens is, after toiling of long to get that particular, because sankalpam is a commitment in a way, and once you've done all the journey and then gone to that, then you find, oh God, this is not exactly what I wanted. So in the samsara sagaram, or in our thing, is basically the happiness. The happiness that we have attributed on the objective world, that it will give me happiness ultimately, peace, calm, quietness, ultimate, that there will be no happily ever after. You know the term happily ever after. What we have attributed on the objective world, that is sankalpa. And that sankalpa, prabhavan. Prabhavan is pravruti. That is what is happening in this particular world of creation, because we are coming to the world of creation. It is it is in this creative world. It's all this creative world. That's prabhavan. And sarvan, everything. And that becomes our kaman, our icha, our desire. Because without sankalpa, there is no kama, which we are all the time saying. So when we are identifying, hey, kama, te mula, your root is the sankalpam. Sarvas, all the desires, its root is in the commitment. That commitment, or commitment means that superimposition of saying that this happiness is there in that. It's not that easy to decouple it. How the decouple, the commit, the complete thing comes only after conviction. Right? Like, for example, most of us here, we know convicted that, okay, if I go to this place, have this particular eat, this food or this particular drinks, absolutely is not going to be, you will never even go there, you will not even touch it. Right? That means that commitment is so full. That kind of a commitment, when it comes on the outside world, everything apart from the your own atma, that sarvan kaman, then what does he does? Aseshataha tyaktva. Aseshataha. Sesham means something that is left behind. Aseshataha means not leaving anything behind. That means it includes your own body, your own mind, the most nearest of that one where our karma is. Everybody desires on our own object, our body first. You cannot deny it. But in that also, the happiness derived from that one, my own body, that itself is a karma. So when he says asheshataha, it includes everything, starting from the closest of that into you, which is your body, mind, and that even my own perception that I am Babu, I am Ganapati Ram, I am Devina. That particular cognition itself is the closest one. Even discarding that, then that's what he says, tyaktva. That tyaktva means renouncing it. How does that renunciation happens? By only total conviction. Through knowledge again and again. And that knowledge, like what you are now learning, all these things through Gita, that's how the knowledge progresses. So these are all good sankalpa. So how to remove the sankalpa from the negative sankalpa, from a positive sankalpa? You just cannot say I can shed away. So through this one, but we don't call this a sankalpa. We call it because it is into your own conviction, knowledge. So aseshataha sarvan tyaktva, then manasa means this 6.5 is manasa eva. Manasa eva. Manasa eva means really, this is viveka yuktena buddhya jnanena eva. Manasa eva, you should, manasa means by mental. So it's just not a mental conviction as we normally take it to the mental. This is by the knowledge induced conviction. Manasa eva mean viveka buddhya eva. Samantataha, all the objectifiable targets. Samantataha, that sarvan is samantataha. Samantataha, and where is that sitting? Indriya gramam. Manasa eva indriya gramam. So if at all that particular attachment or that wrong conviction, that sankalpa is sitting, it is in my indriya gramam. Once that commitment that this is there, this is a happiness for me, that I have to get this, or I will be happy with this one, where does it get planted? In your indriya gramam. Indriya gramam. Grama means like we say village, but it is actually this all village of our pancha karma jnana indriyangal. That is the real place where it is sitting. So this, all this particular one is to practice that from that jnanam, and also to the jnanam that we want to get it freedom, meaning to say that after getting conviction, yes, I am totally convicted that yes, there is no happiness, but I am going back and again. So that is what this particular yoga is all about. And indriya gramam viniyam, yeah. So this 24 and 25 is together. That's what I will take it together. Viniyamya. Viniyamya means having quietened and restrained. Restrained means slightly asking them to dissipate. Viniyamya means having with a conviction of that particular, again applying the knowledge. Hey, I thought this will give me happiness. Did it really give me happiness? No. That self-inquiry, and such inquiry, sometimes you cannot do it to anybody. It is your own self-inquiry which runs in the mind. By that self-inquiry, again we have to question it, reason it out from this knowledge of Gita. And then the conviction comes, yes, it appears as though it is doing, but actually it is only my duty. And with this duty, once it is done, that's all is my really commitment. My commitment is not anything beyond this particular duty. Then automatically that gets dissipated. That even in my samsara sagaram, whatever I'm doing, it is as if it is also another duty. And the duty remains, yes, up to my last breath, never mind, but it is really dutiful and I'm not bounded by the duty. That kind of a conviction with the Gita knowledge, that is that viniyam. Yeah. Dissipated, disposed of by that conviction. Viniyam. Yeah. Once that kind of a dissipation of that particular disposition comes in the mind of these, all the sankalpa pravan kaman, then what does he do? Then what does he do? Dhriti grihitaya. Dhriti means what? Dhriti means that vairagyam. See, vivekam comes from that knowledge. From vivekam, vairagyam. The vairagya, this what is dhriti grihitaya. Once that conviction comes, that time, hold on to the conviction. That is the clue. We get a lot of opportunities in life from when events that happen, good, bad, ugly, but we only take it from bad events. But even when the good events happen, we take it. That is a clever person. Because he has proactively done that even when good things happen. Hey, I know this is there. I've got this particular one, but I know this is also going to go at some time. Advance. He is a clever person. She is a clever person. So like that, Dhriti Grihitaya. But that intellect firmly endured, because that by my this firm conviction, what I'm going to go is endless bliss. Endless bliss. That Atma Jnanam, which is a worthy target. I've been going through worthless target, and now I'm directing myself into the most worthy target. That is my myself, my Atma, that particular identity of mine, which is beyond the name that has been given in this birth, because this name and this form, this particular context, in this particular wherever I am, or with the gender, everything is only a temporary context. I am beyond this particular gender. I'm beyond this particular identity. This beyond this passport or whatever it is, all the thing, not just the document, even that cognition. And that once that happens, driti grihitaya, and with that is a kind of conviction that one needs when going into that atma nididhyasana. Driti grihitaya buddhya, in that intellect, that self-endowed, that I am the natural state of bliss is what I am when I slowly give all those things. And that conviction, every moment that comes, that is the one he gets it. And driti grihite also with that vairagyam, dhairyena. Never mind. Because we all the time have a worry that, oh, my identity will be lost. What will I be worth? Your worth is not in this identity, but we put all our worth in this false identity. So with that, when having defined it, buddhya, then what happens? This one, manaha. Then the mind, because buddhi is always the master of the mind. When buddhi has that conviction, mind is just its slave. Mind will say, okay, you have convicted, I will do now what you want. So manaha, take that manaha, atma samstam kritva. Take the mind into the Atma Samstam, Atma Samsthanam. Atma Samstam means that which is your true identity, which is beyond anything, into that abode of total bliss existence, which is can be taken inner sukshmat is sukshmam. It can be dissipated into the complete minutest sukshmam identity, which is which is completely unthinkable, or the expansive identity, which is again cannot be end. So that Atma Samstam, that particular Atma Jnanam, that Atma Samstam, in that place, Atma Samstam Kritva. Once that conviction has come, and that particular mind has also gone into that, mind will never get into any other thought. These are all the things that Bhagavan is saying for that ultimate factor of that samadhi, jnanam, nididhyasana. Atma samstam kritva, having done that, then what he does, shanaihi, 16 and 17. Shanaihi means slowly and slowly. Not with that, oh, I'm going to no hard bearing. It is that conviction, because that buddhi is what is very important. That is why this knowledge, when we again and again, oh yes, Bhagavan said, yehi, some 5th chapter, yehi samsparshaja bhoga dukkha yona yevate. And again, Bhagavan is saying in this, absolutely Bhagavan word Satyam. And now I have also applied it. That is what is good. And that particular minute, if you really even do into that meditative cognitive mode, that is nididhyasana. So Bhagavan says, that is why that with that he says, shanaihi uparamet. Uparamet means that take that happiness. Happiness means this happiness is nothing that can be felt by any 5 organs. It is not that we're going to say, oh, I'm going to float, or I'm going to feel a kind of a flash of a light. It is beyond anything the eyes have seen, the ears have heard, or the touch have ever felt. It is beyond that. Because that is why Indriya Gramam already, we have already Viniyam here. They are not coming into the plate. So, Shanaihi, Shonaihi, Uparamet. Uparamet is very much into that sublimation, that total Ramati. Rama itself means what? Happiness. And then Uparamet means the closest of happiness, that is yourself, your true identity, which nobody can take it away, which is what you are, which is what I have born for so many births and births and births. That particular Atma Samstam. Shanai Shanaihi Uparamet. And when that particular stage, when you are doing it as a nididhyasanam again and again, he says, in that moment, Arjuna, kinchit, kinchit api na chintayet. Kinchit api. Don't let that thoughts again and to go into anywhere else. Because this chittam is always want by its continuous habit of so many birds will again want to wander. And he says, na kinchitapi chintayet. Chittam do not have to go anywhere. So that is what Bhagavan says in this particular. This is all about nididhyasana. And this nididhyasanam with the knowledge which Shravanam, Manana, nididhyasanam, all these when done together only, the knowledge gets more and more, it becomes a sthita prajna. And can we have it in this birth? You can very much have it in this birth. Can we progress as we go? You can 100% progress. Subsequently, Arjuna will ask in this particular chapter. Because Bhagavan is doing the Upadesam in here up to the person who can attain a Jivan Mukta. Jivan Mukta means that who is having the moksham in this particular Jivan, not in the next Janma or the 100th Janma, in this particular Janma. Possible? Krishna says, yes, possible, Arjuna. So this again, na kinchitapi chintayet, that is the practice Bhagavan wants to inculcate in all of us when we start for doing this nididhyasanam, because this chapter is all about nididhyasanam atma samyama yogam. And then again he says, and when you do that kinchatapi chintayet, Arjuna, it is very natural that yato yato nischarati manaschanchalamastiram ततस्ततो नियम्यैतत् आत्मन्येव वशं नयेत्. Once more. यतो यतो निश्चरति मनश्चञ्चलमस्थिरं ततस्ततो नियम्यैतत् आत्मन्येव वशं नयेत्. And Krishna, that is why when he gives this teaching, he's not only giving this teaching for somebody who was probably acclaimed as a sannyasi, who has already gone, even for somebody who's starting today, first lesson. That is why he understands. He says, Arjuna, I understand. Achalam astiram. You know this mana, whatever you want to do, atma samstam kritva, this mana, mean to say the mind is our adjective for the mind. Achalam. Chanchalam, sorry. Chanchalam. Chanchalam. Chanchalam means achalam, both are same. Chanchalam means it is always in a volatile state. It is like a liquid which is flowing in like a waves, or it is always in a kind of a very fluid state. It is not able to sit in one place. Yes, I know. Astiram. It is as if wobbling all the time. Astiram. Manaha. So, chanchalam, astiram, manaha. The mana by its nature is not of a steady state, is always in a wobbling state, ever wanting to give you some thought of some kind. And when this does the manaha, yataha nischarati. Wherever it wants to wander away to the external world. And he says, yataha means to where, yataha. Where from? Because the thoughts are as if, we sit in this japa and meditation, and suddenly, you all know it, right? So you are thinking a peaceful river and peaceful turf, and suddenly you say, oh God, my lawnmower will come today. I have not given him money. Oh my God, where will I give? Oh, already he owes money. Yeah, he owed me money last time. He didn't give me money. That's it, gone. Everything will be going away. You wanted to sit peacefully in a lawn and see God, but then you will see that, oh God, and by the time your finance calculation, you would have gone, that's it, gone somewhere. Then you don't know. Why, how come I am now thinking about this lawnmower? I never even, I was supposed to sit in that lawn and meditate. Now I've gone to that one. So, the mind can immediately wander. or a neighbor is lawn mowing and you have not done the, oh God, something, the noise, anything can pick up. So, but Bhagavan says that's the nature of the mind, Arjuna. Tataha, tataha, ya tataha, tataha, um, tataha, tataha, yetat. This is niyamya yetat atmani eva. I'm just splitting it. Niyamya yetat atmani eva. So 7 and 8, tataha tataha yetat. Yetat is manaha. See, manaha is a napumsakalingam. That's why it's come yetat. Manas. Sakarantha. So manaha yetat niyamya. Niyamya means again pull it back, drawn back. Hey mana, I know that you want to go. And I've all so again slowly, shanaihi, tataha, niyamya, and then deposit it. Atmani eva vasham naye. Bring it back to the control of the Atmani, which is through the buddhi. This is what this is what is the practice of Bhagavan is teaching and these particular slokas 25, 26 are the very, very deep slokas which takes a person to the samadhi state. And these slokas we should never ever forget. These 25, 26. Bhagavan says Upadesham in this Atma Samyama Yogam. Tatastato niyamya. Where to deposit? Atmani eva. Because I have no sankalpa. I have no sankalpa. The worthiness of these is completely futile. I never know tomorrow I will wake up. Never mind. But this particular cognition of my Atma Jnanam into what I have deposited, that one is Vasham. Vasham means into that control, Nayet. So that means, imagine, there are two within our own self, right? Nayet means there's an effort required. Right? So that is why Bhagavan is also addressing it from a initial person. And once he has practiced it, this Vasham Nayet, it does not have to do, it automatically comes. He sits on the closes the eyes and sits, and at the practice, it automatically comes. But if it never comes, again go back to the japa and bring it back. That's what Bhagavan says here. And that is how the strength of the Nididhyasanam is brought up. Bhagavan will come in the next few for subsequent shloka. Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grhyate. Bhagavan will come and say, it doesn't happen at one shot. It doesn't happen on the first day for many of us. Abhyasena tu kaunteya. Then again we have to chant these ones. Abhyasena tu babu vairagyena cha grhyate. Never falter from the abhyasa. Any amount of time. But every effort, every minute I deposit the effort into that, it's worth one janma. That kind of a worth we have to cater into that. That's what Bhagavan wants to give into that. And then next one, and this particular one, yoga abhyasa balat yoginaha, and that's what even Shankara says. Evam yoga abhyasa balat. See, the bala, the fruit the strength comes from the abhyasa. Yoga abhyasa balat yoginaha atmani eva prashamyati manaha. And this buddhya again is when we say in this tato niyamya, through what? Vairagya bhavanaya. The viveka and vairagya is the most useful things in this particular one. And then again Bhagavan says, prashanta manasam henam yoginam sukhamuttamam upaiti shanta rajasam brahma bhutama kalmasham. And again now from 20, Bhagavan says, from the 27 to 32. So we saw this 25, 26 today, which is for mostly for the Nididhyasanam, which takes him into that Nirvikalpa Samadhi and beyond that. And Prashantam, so Bhagavan says, Akalmasham. Akalmasham, meaning to say, kalmasham means, there is some blemishes, or there is some fault line, or there is some negativity. Akalmasham, meaning to say, this particular abhyasa yoga balam, what it does is, it gives you first that akalmasham, freed from all the blemishes, whatever the negativity that it had built over some period of the onto that one, it has now freed. Akalmasham. That akalmasham is a objective. Akalmasham akalmasham shanta rajasam. So this particular Jivan Mukta, now this 27 to 32 are the states of Jivan Mukta Bhagavan is now giving as a foremost mentor. So we have to keep that as our, okay, this is the worth, because what Bhagavan wants to see here is, we have seen worthlessness of the falsified objects that we have had. Now Bhagavan, why he wants to give is, wants to give you the worthiness in this Atma Jnanam or the Jivan Mukta. That's why Bhagavan is saying, this akalmasham, prashanta manasam, yoginam, shantarajasam, everything is the worth. If you want to define the worth of the Atma Jnanam, the Jivan Mukta, then these are the ones. So akalmasham. So first is this Kali dosha nivritti, that whatever that through so many births that he has got it, first is that gets removed. And the second one is Shanta Rajasam. This Rajas is the Rajaguna. The Rajoguna Shanti. So the Rajaguna becomes Shanti. Meaning to say, with the Rajoguna, what we get? Kama and Krodha. So Bhagavan is Kama Yesha Krodha Yesha Rajoguna Samudbhavaha Papmanam Pratahikenam. He said, right? That Rajagunam, that Rajas Gunam, that becomes Shantam. That automatically becomes quietened. We never even know then afterwards, where does this come from? So you are completely quietened of the Rajas, which is taking you to the Kama and Krodha. That has been shantified. If I want to just put it in English, shantified. So that has been quietened, or it had automatically sublimed. Shanta Rajasam. Because of that, his mind is Prashanta Manasam. So the manas, because of devoid of this rajas and without any fault lines, which were everything been totally gone, it has become a prashanta manasaha. With the prashanta manasaha, his mind is now on that his true nature. Prashanta manasaha means the mind has gone into its natural abode. Natural abode of Atmani eva. So the Prashanta Manasaha is where he is now in that in his Atmas, he is in that control of the Buddhi Viveka. When he wants, the Manasa goes out to do the things he wants, a duty. Otherwise, it's a Shanti, comes back to this own control. That is a Prashanta Manasaha, Manasam. So all these things to that person. To that Akalmasham, to that Shantarajasam, to that Prashanta Manasam. Brahma Bhutam. Brahma Bhutam. Brahma Bhutam means Jivan Muktaha. Straight away. Brahma Bhutam. Brahmaiva Bhavati. So that particular Brahma Jnanena Brahmaiva Bhavati. So that what has happened to him, Brahma Bhutam is Jivan Muktaha. So that's what I said. These are all the worthiness that we are trying to fix up. So my Sankalpa is in this particular worthiness, Atma Jnanam. That Brahma Bhutam, that Jivan Muktam. The Jivan Muktam, Jivan Muktaha, Yenam, to this person who is a Jivan Mukta. Number 6, Yoginam, to this yogi. This Atma Samyama yogi, who's a Jivan Mukta yogi, yoginam, he means indeed very much. And for him, what does he get? Uttamam Sukham Ashnute. So Uttamam Sukham Upaiti. Uttamam Sukham Upaiti. Uttamam Sukham means that ultimate happiness. That ultimate happiness, which is everlasting, which is inexplicable, which is inexperienceable, which cannot be revealed to anyone. But inside it is totally happy. That one, upaiti. Upaiti means it automatically comes, meaning to say it is already there and it has just sprung forth. Every other sukham does not have a upaiti that comes and goes, whereas in this one, it is what it is in himself, and that happiness has been revealed. And he ever revels in that particular happiness. Yeah. So this particular happiness, he automatically is what he is, his true identity, upaiti. And with this total happiness as he is being, and he has recognized it, what does he do again? And vigata kalmashaha, now it is all with him. So in all of them, it was a second case. Akalmasham, everything, sarvabhudam, atmaram, yoginam, shanta. What comes? Sukham uttamam upaiti. Sukham, that uttamam sukham goes to him. Now, that person, vigata kalmashaha, meaning to say, this jivan muktaha, same, akalmashaha, vigata kalmashaha, both are same meaning. So, vigata kalmashaha means that fault lines which has gone, the same meaning. Vigata kalmashaha, yogi, the same yogi what we saw the previous one, jivan mukta yogi, evam, similar, remaining thus, where his rajas has gone, he's always in the prashanta manasaha, he's a brahma bhutaha, evam, remaining thus, evam sada, ever after, ever. It is not something that it comes and goes, sada, ever after, sada, atmanam yunjan. So that from henceforth, that Jivan Muktaha Sada, forever after, Atmanam Yunjan. This particular Satchit Sukha Anandam, the Atmas Swarupam, his true identity of Atmanam, Yunjan. Yunjan means that somehow the way that he is being absorbed in, progressing thus in that Atmas Swarupam, Jivan Muktam. Jivan Muktan, in that particular Yunjan, progressing, Yunjan, thus remaining, Yunjan, Sukhena, with ease, Anayasena. Sukhena means Anayasena. He doesn't have to make any effort. By its natural progress, Sukhena, Brahma Sansparsham, Atyamtam Sukham Ashnate. Brahma Samsparsham, meaning to say, always the Brahma Bhutaha, that Brahman, that Atmani, that particular one is what is samsparsham. Sparsham means normally touching. Samsparsham means well in contact with. So well in contact with what? Brahman. So that means these are all Mahavakyam. Atman and that Brahman same. Atma Samsparsham, Brahma Samsparsham. Same. So that Brahman, Brahma Samsparsham, with that Sukhena, with that happiness, with that Brahma Samsparsham, Atyantam Shukam Asnate. This is all more explanation of this Sukham. Because he said Sukham Upaiti. What kind of a Sukham Upaiti that person is? What is this particular one? Atyantam. Antam means what? There is a end. Atyantam means beyond that end. Ati Antam becomes Atyantam, Yan Sandhi. Ati Antam. Meaning to say, that is, if you think there is a end, no. This is beyond any end that you can think about. Atyantam. By quantity, quality, for any measure that you can think about. Sukham. Sukhena sukham ashnute. Don't you think it's a beautiful way the Bhagavan saying? Sukhena sukham ashnute. For every other sukham in this world, we have to toil. Dukkena sukham ashnute in this material world. That is what I want you to notice, all these key words Bhagavan using. The worldly sukham is always with the dukkha, means you have to toil. By not taking one step, no sukham you can get in this material world. But isn't it so easy that Bhagavan is saying, with this one, sukhena sukham ashnute. Meaning to say, you are that same happiness. Would you ever have to go to yourself? Do you have to go to meet yourself? Never, right? Same thing. You don't have to walk somewhere to meet yourself. Similarly, sukhena sukham ashnute, because that sukham is your true identity, and that is why that sukhena sukham ashnute, because we do not have to toil anything. It is his own happiness, true happiness, and that happiness is what it is revealed. Ashnute. That's why ashnute is alankara word, meaning to say as if he has reached. That's why Bhagavan put sukhena sukham ashnute. Because when somebody says sukham upaiti, they may think, that is why I'm just telling you why Bhagavan explains in this sukham upaiti. They will think, okay, so one day this sukham will come and upaiti for me too. Bhagavan says, no, it doesn't, because sukhena sukham ashnute. This happiness is ever there in you. You don't have to go behind this happiness. All that you have to do is start going behind dukkena sukham. Dukkena sukham praptum nibadyate sukhena sukham ashnute. Stop toiling for unnecessary worthless goals. You will automatically get that happiness into your own self. That's again is a inner meaning Bhagavan's giving. And then let's go further. And this particular, these are all the worthiness. So when we see these kind of worth in that, we say, oh God, isn't that what I want? So that self-inquiry increases more. In Gita Shastra, when we read these things. And then when we read these ones and keep that mentorship, like, this worth in our goal, then all other worth will automatically go, isn't it? That is why Bhagavan is giving this. We should not think that this Jivan Mukta is something which is probably, somebody is having this kind of a sukham, it's not for me. No, keep that as our top target. As something that Krishna says it can be possible in this Janma. And yes, that is exactly what I want, not anything else. Then automatically the Nididhyasana becomes stronger and stronger. And Bhagavan gives more encouragement in the following subsequent slokas. Sarva bhutastamatvanam sarva bhutani chatmani ikshate yoga yuktatma sarvatra samadharshanaha sarva bhutastamatvanam sarva bhutani chatmani ikshate yoga yuktatma sarvatra samadharshanaha. So Bhagavan now he says, now this Jivan Mukta, how does he visualize anything outside of him? I mean, when you say outside, there is really nothing outside, inside for him. When we say outside, only because of the identity in this body. Once his identity with the body is gone, there is no outside or inside. Right? So, but then just to kind of give a clarity for everybody, Bhagavan is saying. So he says, this Yoga Yuktatma, Jivan Mukta again. So Yoga Yuktatma is Atma Samyama Yoga Yuktatma. You can add, that will be very good. So Atma Samyama Yuktatma, who has done thus the Nididhyasanam, and then he has attained this particular result, this enlightened knowledge, this Jivan Mukta, Atma Samyama Yoga Yuktatma, Sarvatra. Sarvatra means in this, anywhere outside. That's why I said inside or outside. In wherever he looks into, wherever, Samadarshanaha. That when that vision of equality, meaning to say he does not see any separation between outside and inside of him. Samadarshanaha. That vision, that vision is just not only by just the sight, but his cognition, is value that he deposits inside or outside, is that equality for anything. Samadarshanaha. Atmanam. Atmanam. In this Atmanam means that absolute identity. In all this, most of this absolute. Atmanam. Atmanam. That is in that particular absolute Atma. In that absolute Atman. That absolute Atman, we should not take it as that Atman inside, because Atman is inside and outside. That's why we come to Sarvatra Bhagavan says. In that one substratum of Atma, in that Atmanam, Sarva Bhutastham Ikshate. In that substratum, what he visualizes, Sarva Bhutastham. In whatever that, Sesham. Now, in this one, Sarva Bhutastham means that Bhutani, from whatever the perceivable objects in this world, from the Chaturmukha Brahma to the pillar, Brahmadini Stamba Paryantani. Even in that Jada Vastu, even in that brick, water, wood, sand, everything. Sarva Bhutastham, that same substratum, Ikshate, is what he is real perception is. Ikshate is really, he visualizes, means that's what he perceives. That's what he attributes anything on it. Ikshate. Also, Sarva Bhutani. And when he ever has a context of somebody else, because sometimes he has to take a context of another person, another entity, another identity. Sarva Bhutani cha Atmani, in that same substratum. So this Sarva Bhutani means Brahma Stamba Paryani. When we say Brahma to this one, they are objectifiable perception. So objectifiable perception too, in the Atmani, in the non-objectifiable perception, he deposits. Sarva Bhutani, which are objectifiable Bhuta, cha, also in Atmani, in that non-objectifiable Atmani, that same substratum. Ikshate. Also he deposits. When he takes a context from the other's context also, he puts it in the substratum. When he puts from his context as well, identity, when he expands his word. So he has got a expansive vision and a retractive vision. That's what Bhagavan says. And this particular one is, so Bhagavan is now slowly coming in 29, 30, 31, the Mahavakyam, Tat Tvam Asi. So if you want to make it, this word sloka number 29 is about the Tatpada, Tatpadam. Because everything is from that particular person, starting from the Yoga Yuktatma. So from that perception is what Bhagavan is saying in the Tatpadam. Then Twampadam is what is sloka number 30. Twampadam means what? That from a Ishvara's one. Yes, I understand, me and Ben, but what about Ishvara? So Bhagavan says from Ishvara's perspective, Arjuna, Yo mam pashyati sarvatra, sarvam cha mayi pashyati, tasyaham na pranashyami, sacha me na pranashyati. Once more. Yo mam pashyati sarvatra, sarvam cha mayi pashyati, tasyaham na pranashyami, sacha me na pranashyati. So this particular one is where Bhagavan is given even from a Bhagavan's context. This Jivan Mukta. So yaha, this Jivan Mukta, Mam, this Bhagavan, he means the Vasudeva. From the Vasudeva who has done this creation, sustenance, and the destruction of all of them from the Bhagavan. That Sarvatra, Sarva Guna, Sarva Visheshana, Sarva Saundarya, Sarva Saubhagya, that particular Bhagavan, How does he perceive? Sarvatra pashyati. And he sees that me in everything. Bhagavan in sarvatra pashyati. In everything that he can see. Whenever he takes his context out of that particular Atmani context. Meaning to say, even in that, so we always been, because when he's coming in the Viveka stage, he has got his Atma and Anatma, right? Anatma means, we were saying, that which is based probably in the samsara, everything. But in this one, he has seen the same Bhagavan in Atma and Anatma too. Right? So that kind of a expansive vision. Akandakara vritti. Sarvatra pashyati. And sarvam, whenever he wants to objectify that other ones, when sarvam cha and sarvam cha sarvam mayi pashyati. Cha mayi sarvam pashyati. And in that same Ishvara only, whenever he takes anything to any objectifiable, he thinks everything in the Lord, meaning to say, he sees the whole world as that one same Lord. So he deposits, one is he sees every, when he goes identify every person, in that person he sees the same Bhagavan. And when he wants to expand, he puts all that objects in the same Bhagavan. So this is in that, even in that Saguna into the Nirguna. Pashyati, like Prahlada. And for the Arjuna, for that particular Jivan Mukta, Tasya, to him, to that Jivan Mukta, Tasya, Aham na pranashyami. These are quite a difficult word. I'll explain this and then finish for today. Tasya, Aham na pranashyami. When I say this particular word, the literal meaning is Tasya, Aham na pranashyami. To him, I don't destroy. So it may, to him, I don't destroy, aham na pranashyami, and he doesn't, and just I will give you the literal meaning, then go. Tasya, to him, aham na pranashyami. Aham, so Bhagavan is saying, aham, I do not destroy. To him, I do not destroy, meaning to say, I'm not a destroyer. Just take a literal meaning, then we'll go move it. Just think about it. To him, I do not destroy. Literal. Aham na pranashyami. Aham pranashyami, I destroy. Aham na pranashyami, I do not destroy. Okay, I've just taken, keep that one. Cha, saha cha, me na pranashyati. And he also does not destroy me. To him, neither I am the destroyer. To him, and also he does not destroy me. So, we think, what? Jivan Mukta destroying Bhagavan. Bhagavan destroying Jivan Mukta. What is this? The words are a bit very confusing. So that is why we have to go a little bit into the Tattvartham here. With that, I will finish. So when Bhagavan, he says, Aham na pranashyami, he says, anything in this object, when you want to destroy, meaning to say that has to be having a creation. So only one which has got a creation can be destroyed. Right? So Bhagavan here, because in that Bhagavan, what he sees that is pranashyami mean, it is not that it is something that aparaha from him. Only that something which is away from, see, even when a person commits a suicide, he only commits a suicide to this body. He cannot really kill the Atma. Right? So, but in a way, Bhagavan, when he says, Aham na pranashyami, na parokshatam gamishyati. Because he has got the aparoksha jnanam, whenever only an object that can be, only anything that can be only be objectifiable can be destroyed. Because anything that is objectifiable has a origin or a birth. Whereas Bhagavan is birthless and is endless. So Bhagavan is never a one that is of different from him. Different from him means that Atmani, from the Atma. So that means parokshatam. So that means he does not, Bhagavan does not become a aroksha. He becomes aparoksha. Bhagavan becomes his aparoksha. And same thing, sachamena pranashyati. Meaning to say, he does not become an objectifiable of perception. He does not get away from me. One is, so you can take it like Prahlada and Narasimha is a very good thing. Meaning to say, the Narasimha does not get out of the sight of Prahlada, and Prahlada does not get out of the sight of Narasimha. You understand? So that means he is seeing, even when he is perceiving, he sees that God only in everything. And God is ever seeing him. See, God sees everyone all the time. But in this one, in the absolute cognition, they are always one. They're functioning as one. Like Prahlada, that's what happened with Prahlada, right? His father kept on asking him, do you see him everywhere? Yes, I see him everywhere. Does he see you? Yes, he sees me everywhere. Does he talk to you? Yes, he's talking to me. That is that kind of, but so even from a relative context, Bhagavan does not become a paroksham. So that is why I can tell you, even from our Sringeri Acharya, when you sometime go and talk to him, when you ask some doubt, sometimes he'll say, Prerana alayapa. Prerana, see, there's a very, very, very important word. They don't even think of their word, of their own. That particular, even their thought, when that comes to the mouth, is executed by Bhagavan. Every word they speak, every vision they speak, everywhere they look, it is only by that execution of Bhagavan. Bhagavan is their executor, and then and that execution, there is no separation between him and the Bhagavan. That is a Jivan Mukta, in a way to even cognize from our relative context. So from an absolute context also, these people are never different from the Bhagavan. And from a relative context, when we say within their context, for us, it may look different. It may look like as if he is doing puja, he is doing everything. But in their context, they are just one and the same. Na paroksho bhavati. That Shankara says. Na paroksho bhavati, na parokshatam gamishyami. So that kind of aparoksha jnanam, atma samsthitam, that he has got it dridam. That is what Bhagavan is saying this. Have you understood this? Anyone, any doubt in this? I don't mind dwelling for another few minutes before I close for today. Okay? Okay. Om Tat Sat iti Srimad Bhagavad Gitasu Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Atma Samyama Yogo Nama Shashtyodyayah Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Om Tat Sat Ata Gita Mahatmyam Dharavacha Bhagavan Parameshana Bhaktiravya Vicharini Prarabdham